Breaking news! Everything in Baltimore may be about to change. A subtle roster change, a silent crisis at the quarterback position, and coaching staff decisions that simply don't make sense. But what's really going on behind the scenes? Why are veterans being released after just a few weeks? Why does Lamar Jackson suddenly look like a shadow of the MVP he once was? And is this the moment that will define the entire season? But before we delve deeper, don't forget to like if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you want, comment, "Go Ravens!" Let's show the football world that Ravens fans remain united, no matter what. Let's get right into it. The Baltimore Ravens just made another under-the-radar yet eye-opening move by signing veteran guard Laken Tomlinson to the practice squad and releasing defensive end Carl Lawson. Now, we could joke about Lawson's brief stint in Baltimore. It barely lasted 3 weeks, and maybe just 3 actual snaps. But the real story here is about what this move signals. It signals desperation. It signals awareness. And above all, it signals change. Laken Tomlinson isn't a superstar, let's not kid ourselves. He struggled in Houston. But we have to understand the context. Houston's offensive line has been a disaster. When you're surrounded by mediocrity, or worse, it tends to drag you down. And even though the Ravens' O-line has its issues, there's still talent in that group. Ronnie Stanley, Tyler Linderbaum, and Kevin Zeidler have all shown their worth. That said, the unit as a whole has been underperforming, and Tomlinson may be the start of a bigger shuffle coming soon. Why the urgency? Let's talk facts. The Ravens have given up 36 sacks this season, 8th most in the NFL, with a sack percentage of 9.3%, 6th worst in the league. It's not just the passing game that's suffering. In run blocking, they have a stuff rate of 16.2%, meaning that more than 1 in 6 runs are getting stopped at or behind the line of scrimmage. That's a problem, a big one. One name that's become the unfortunate poster child for these struggles is Daniel Falele. The massive tackle, who certainly looks the part, has not been able to execute on the field. From missing blocks that result in Lamar Jackson getting crushed, to literally assisting defenders in bringing down Derrick Henry, his tape this season has been nothing short of painful to watch. And it's gotten to the point where fans would rather see a literal statue plugged in at right guard than watch another blown block from Falele. Yet despite this obvious dysfunction, head coach John Harbaugh tried to spin the narrative earlier this week, saying, "I thought the offensive line played well. I thought the guards played exceptionally well in the run game." But anyone paying attention knows this isn't the case. You don't make a move for a veteran guard like Tomlinson unless you're trying to fix a fire that's already raging. This isn't patchwork, this is damage control. But even beyond the O-line issues, the pressure is compounding elsewhere, especially on QB1. Lamar Jackson is in the midst of the worst 4-game stretch of his entire career. And that's not just hyperbole, that's cold, hard numbers. For straight games under 60% completion, fewer than 200 passing yards per game. Just 1 touchdown pass against 4 interceptions, plus 2 lost fumbles. It's not just a slump, it's a crisis of form. And while the usual excuses, injuries, bad protection, dropped passes, can explain some of it, they don't explain all of it. NFL executives and coaches, speaking anonymously, are all seeing the same thing. Lamar doesn't look the same. One executive said simply, "He just doesn't look the same." Another said, "Not as explosive as he has been in the past." And here's the thing, no one's really arguing. He's missing throws, missing reads, holding the ball too long, ignoring wide-open targets. Whether it's mechanical, mental, or a combination of both, it's obvious to anyone watching that this isn't the Lamar Jackson who won MVP or started this season hot. Now, some say it's Monken's responsibility. The offensive coordinator needs to get him into rhythm with shorter passes and more controlled drives. The recent data backs that up. Lamar's average depth of target has been over 11 yards in recent weeks, too aggressive for a quarterback struggling with confidence and timing. A more conservative approach, short, high-percentage throws, could help him build momentum and reset. Even the drop issues from his receivers have been brutal. Over the last 3 games, the Ravens receivers have a drop rate of 7.6%. Rashad Bateman dropped a key 4th down. Even Lamar himself dropped a pass on 3rd down. The chemistry just isn't there right now. But one bright spot remains, DeAndre Hopkins. No drops all season, sure hands. And even John Harbaugh admitted this week that the team needs to get him more involved. Intentional targets, strategic snaps, it's all on the table. If anyone can help stabilize this offense, it's him. Or is this just the beginning of a bigger unraveling? Because here's where things get even more complicated. As much as we want to point fingers at Lamar, and yes, he deserves criticism, football is never just about one player. The Ravens' offensive collapse over the past month is layered. It's not just about Lamar's accuracy or mechanics, it's about the entire infrastructure around him breaking down when it matters most. Let's start with offensive coordinator Todd Monken. This was supposed to be the guy who unlocked Lamar's next level. The guy who brought in a new system, more modern passing concepts, and opened up the field. But when your quarterback is in the worst stretch of his career, when your O-line can't keep him upright, and when your receivers aren't producing, where's the adjustment? That's the thing. It feels like there's no backup plan, no flexibility, You see a struggling quarterback, and the game plan still asks him to make 12-yard throws on 3rd and 4. You see your best receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, getting limited targets while guys like Bateman or even Odell Beckham Jr. get more volume and waste it. And let's go back to Hopkins for a second. John Harbaugh himself said, "We really need to try to get him involved more. We've been trying to do it. We can do it. It hasn't fallen for us." That's a pretty candid admission. If the coaching staff recognizes the need, but still can't make it happen, then what does that say about the execution? Or worse, the play calling? Meanwhile, on the defensive side, the team isn't getting bailed out anymore. The Ravens defense, once the heart of this franchise, is now looking just as vulnerable. The pass rush is inconsistent, and though Baltimore still holds the edge in linebacker, cornerback, and safety talent compared to teams like Cincinnati, the lack of complementary football is exposing even those strong units. They're on the field too long, asked to save the day too often. And if you needed any more context into just how fragile things feel, remember this: the Ravens cut Carl Lawson after only a few weeks. A sign that not only are they tinkering, they're doing so aggressively and without hesitation. That kind of quick hook reflects one thing: urgency, maybe even panic. Now, let's talk about Sunday. A rematch with the Cincinnati Bengals is on the horizon, and it couldn't come at a more pivotal time. Just a few weeks ago, Lamar Jackson was flat out outplayed by Joe Burrow on his own turf. And with Burrow now out, this feels like a golden opportunity to bounce back. But will he? Can Lamar Jackson really reestablish himself as the face of this franchise by dominating a rival in a must-win game? Or are we going to see another frustrating performance, filled with missed throws, failed drives, and post-game finger-pointing? Because if things don't change, if this slide continues, the noise outside the building is going to get louder. You'll hear the rumblings of "Is Lamar the guy?" You'll see the fingers point toward Monken. You'll feel the weight of a wasted season that started with Super Bowl aspirations. The truth is, the Ravens can't afford to waste another prime season from Lamar Jackson, nor another dominant year from their defensive core. This team was built for now, not 2026, not next year, right now. And right now, they're teetering between contender and collapse. So, it's gut check time in Baltimore. Lamar has to dig deep. The offensive line has to be better, or at least not a complete liability. Tomlinson may only be a practice squad addition for now, but don't be surprised if he's elevated quickly, because they desperately need someone who can bring stability inside. Someone who can protect the quarterback and allow this offense to function. And maybe, just maybe, it's not just about bouncing back, it's about survival. But it all starts with Lamar. He's the engine of this team, and if he sputters again on Sunday, what happens next? Let me know in the comments. What do you think it will take for Lamar Jackson to get back on track? Can he fix this in time to save the season? If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more Ravens insights, and don't forget, another video is waiting for you right here on the screen. Being a Baltimore Ravens fan isn't just about supporting a football team, it's about being part of a legacy built on toughness, pride, and an unshakable bond with the city. Whether you've been repping the purple and black since the days of Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, or you're part of the new wave rallying behind Lamar Jackson and this explosive 2025 squad, your passion fuels everything. It's the kind of dedication that echoes through M&T Bank Stadium every Sunday, the kind that turns regular season games into battles and playoff runs into unforgettable memories. This fan base is different. It's fierce. It's loyal.